Hello, this is Mike, and this is an Exakta VX from 1952 with a waist level viewfinder and a 50mm Meritar f2.9 lens. The Exakta is actually one of the first 35mm SLRs commercially produced. And this is another Exakta VX, this time with a prism viewfinder. This one is from 1954. And it has a Meyer optic 58mm f1.9 lens. The third camera I would like to show you is the most recent actually. This one is from 1969. This is the Exakta VX 500 and it has a car size 50mm f2.8 lens. And finally, the most beautiful of the bunch, the Exakta Varex IIa from 1959 with also a car size 50mm f2.8 lens. The very characteristic and original triangular shape of the body has been shared by all cameras of the Exakta family, from the first one, the Kine Exakta in 1936, until the last one, the VX 500, sold until 1972. Before I discuss how they work, let's have a look and enjoy their beautiful design. Cue the music. The VX 500 is the most straightforward to use. The speed range is limited to 1/30th up to 1/500th of a second, and the bulb setting, that's all. Let's look at the shutter. Winding the film arms the shutter, and the release button is right here. It can be locked with this little lever, which will go like this. With the lever in place, the shutter release is locked and you cannot take any picture. Let's unlock and listen to the shutter. The lens iris closes when pressing halfway the shutter. The iris is otherwise wide open to allow the maximum amount of light to reach the viewfinder, but it can be closed this way to check the depth of field. Look how it closes just before taking the picture. Let's have a look at the other two dials. Here, this is the ISO setting to set a reminder of what kind of film is inside the body. And that's all it does, it's just an indicator. On the left is the film counter, which can be set by rotating on the open side of it. As far as I know, all Exakta models have interchangeable viewfinders. You need to slide that lever down and then pull the viewfinder. I am going to swap it with the waist level viewfinder that I have on another camera. Let me bring it over and take it out. Here we go. So same thing. I slide the tab down to unlock the viewfinder and then just lock it in place. You press here to open, and then you can look and compose your image from the top. Here you can see the legs of the tripod I have on my table. This is a loop which allows to have a better focusing because it will magnify part of the image, but it's hard to see on the video. That's it for the VX500. Let's have a look at the others. The operation of the VX and the Varex IIa is identical, so I picked the one which seemed to be working the best. The small wheel on the left allows to set the number of exposures of the film in the camera, and it will count down as we take pictures. We lift the speed selector to change the speed from 1/25th to 1/1000th of a second. These are the fast speeds. For the slow speeds, we need to set the selector to B and then go to the right and wind this dial all the way, and then we can select speeds from 1/5 of a second to 12 seconds. I am setting the speed to 1 second. I didn't wind far enough to be able to turn the dial. You see the little red dot which need to be aligned with the speed. I will now try 5 seconds, so I wind the film, turn the dial to 5, crank, and voila! There is another mode, which is the red values, where it will delay the taking of the picture by 12 seconds and then take the picture at the selected speed. Below the slow speed dial is another dial to set a reminder for the speed of the film installed in the camera. On the Varex IIa, the design of the low speed dial and the film speed selector are slightly different, but they otherwise work exactly the same as the other cameras. On the Zeiss Jena lens, the aperture selector ring is always locked in place and you have to pull it towards the camera, change the value, and then it locks back in place. One final feature of this lens is the lever at the bottom, which allows to lock the aperture at the open position in order to have a maximum amount of light reaching the viewfinder. It's hard to see, so I remove the lens and will show. So this is open, and by pressing the button, plug. So the lever opens the iris and it stays open until you take the picture. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the 4 members of the Exakta family I have the chance of owning, from the manufacturer Hayagi in Dresden, Germany, the VX, the 2 versions of the VX I showed, the Varex IIa and the VX500. So take care everybody, this is Mike signing off.